Today we're going to read Fred Hampton. You can enter a liberator, but you can't enter liberation. If you have comments on it, please let me know. Speech delivered April 27, 1969. Source, Movement, Volume 5, Number 12. The Movement Press, January 1970. Transcript markup by Philip Mooney, 2020, for the Marxists Internet Archive. This work is completely free. You are a liberator, but you can't liberation. Fred Hampton. All power to the people. What we are basically going to be talking about today is what the pig is doing to the panthers all around the country. We are going to have to talk about what we are going to have to do about the repression that they are putting on the Black Panther Party. We are not worried about getting off it. Let's try to deal with it. We got to talk first of all about the main man. The main man in the Black Panther Party. The main man in the struggle today in the United States, in Chicago, in Cuba, and anywhere else. The main man in the liberation struggle is our Minister of Defense. And yours too, Huey P. Newton. He's the main man because the head of the imperialist octopus lies right in this country. And whoever is dealing with the head of the octopus in this country is the main man. He's in jail now. We must tell the world that Huey P. Newton was tried by the pigs and they found him guilty. He was tried by the people who found him not guilty. We say let him go, let him free, because we find him not guilty. This is our relentless demand. We will not let up one day. We will not give up the struggle to liberate our Minister of Defense, Huey P. Newton, and we will continue to exert pressure on the power structure and constantly bombard them with the people's demand that Huey P. Newton be set free. Who do we know today that's imprisoned politically, that needs to be set free? I mean, what springs to mind for me is the millions of Palestinians living in Gaza, which is essentially a prison, an open-air camp. They fight for their liberation from settler colonizers who have stolen their homeland and put them in an open-air prison. And that is we have a relentless demand for the people of Palestine to be set free. One Palestine with democratic equality for all citizens. It was Huey P. Newton who taught us how the people learn. You learn by participation. When Huey P. Newton started out, what did he do? He got and he got Bobby, and Bobby got a. They had a problem in the community because people was being run over. Kids were being run over at a certain intersection. What did the people do? The people went down to the government to redress their grievances, and the government told them to go to hell. We are not going to put no stoplights down there until we see fit. What did Huey P. Newton do? Did he go out and tell the people about the laws and write letters and try to propagandize them all the time? No. Some of that's good, but the masses of the people don't read. The masses of the people don't read. That's what I heard Huey say. They learn through observation and participation. That's why I encourage y'all to get in the chat. It's important, engage with the material. Did he just say this? No. What did he do? He got him. He got Bobby, and he got him a hammer, and he went down to the corner. He gave Bobby the and told him if any pig come by. What did he do? He went to the corner and nailed up a stop sign. No more accidents, no more trouble. And then he went back. Another situation like that. What did the people do? They looked at it. They observed. They didn't get a chance to participate in it. Next time, what'd they do? Same kind of problem came up. The people got their hammers. How did they learn? They learned by observation and participation. Join in. Go to protest. Go. Make your voice. Use your voice. Use your body. They learned one thing. Where there's a fire, you gather around the fire. Huey got a and everybody gathered around him and Buck. They saw what was going on, and they had a chance to participate in it. As the vanguard leader, he taught the people about the power structure. He led the people down the correct road of revolution. What are we doing? Now, here's a program that I think that was so influential that the United States government had to adopt it due to pressure from people led and organized by the Black Panther Party. You got to remember, Marx recommends a party because you can't do this shit by yourself. If you're by yourself, you're screaming into the void, or you're being a menace with. Oh, I can't read all of this in word for word. Just so you know, I will be censoring N-words in my own speech. I won't be reading them aloud because that's not my word. That's not my place. In its place, I'll say N-word. I won't say N-word either. I don't know what to say in place of that. I'll just mute it because I'm not going to say it. It makes me too uncomfortable. I'm just reading ahead to get prepared. I don't want to read completely unprepared. Reading aloud is difficult, but reading aloud helps me to absorb and engage with material, so it's okay. Breakfast for Children. Our Breakfast for Children program is feeding a lot of children, and the people understand our Breakfast for Children program. We're saying something like this. We're saying that theory's cool, but theory with no practice ain't. You gotta have both of them. The two go together. We had a theory about feeding kids free. What did we do? We put it into practice. That's how people learn. A lot of people don't know how serious the thing is. They think the children we feed ain't really hungry. I don't know 5-year-old kids that can act well, but I know that if they're not hungry, we sure got some if they're not hungry, we sure got some actors. We got 5-year-old actors that could take the Academy Award. Last week, they had a whole week dedicated to the hungry in Chicago, talking about starvation rate here that went up 15%, over here where everybody should be eating. Why? Because of capitalism. See, yes, it's because of capitalism. It is because of the commodification of the necessities of life. Nothing which is required for life, for the sustainment of life, should be sold for a profit. That is unhinged. What are we doing? The Breakfast for Children program. We're running it in a socialistic manner. People came and took our program, saw it in a socialistic fashion, not even knowing it was socialism. People are going to take our program and tell us to go on to a higher level. They're going to take that program and work it in a socialistic manner. What the pigs say, he say, you like communism? No, sir, I'm scared of it. You like socialism? No, sir, I'm scared of it. You like the Breakfast for Children program? Yes, sir, I'd die for it. Pig said, that program is a socialistic program. I don't give a if it's communism. You put your hands on that program and he knew it. We've been educating him, not by reading matter, but through observation and participation, by letting him come in and work our program. Not theory and theory alone, but theory and practice. The two go together. We not only thought about the Marxist-Leninist theory, we put it into practice. That is what the Black Panther Party is about. Yeah, so what can we learn from the Breakfast for Children program? It is to build mutual aid structures. Focus on a problem and socialistically solve it. And with enough pressure, you see and you hear exactly the kind of pressure that is being applied to the government. Eventually, the government adopted the program because the people were so enthusiastic about it. Go to your protests, make it known that you support these mutual aid structures, that you support these anti-war movements. That you, so go right now in Tacoma. Right now, there is a at the Tacoma port. There is a ship that is sending weapons and military gear to Israel that is trying to be blocked. I couldn't make it out to Tacoma this morning. I had to get my kid off to school. I haven't gotten an update on it since for an hour, but they're urgently calling for anyone who can get to the Tacoma port. The port has been blocked for 2 hours, and it needs to. At 8 a.m., they said it had been blocked for 2 hours. They were blocking for 3 hours at 9 a.m. Cars jammed the road, so you can join the picket on foot. If you drive out to the Tacoma port, drive to where all the cars are, and just park your car. Go and join the picket. Block that shit. Stop the military aid from reaching Israel, from leaving U.S. shores to go to Israel. You, theory and practice. Theory and practice. Okay. Subversives. Fred Hampton about subversives. Some people talk a lot about communism, but the people can't understand and progress to the stage of communism right away because of abstract arguments. They say you gotta crawl before you can walk. And the Black Panther Party, as the vanguard party, thought that the Breakfast for Children program was the best technique of crawling that any vanguard party could follow. And we got a whole lot of folks that's going to be walking, and then a whole lot of folks that's going to be running. And when you got that, what you got? You got a whole lot of pigs that's going to be running. That's what our program's about. The Black Panther Party is about the complete revolution. We're not going to go out there and half do a thing, but you can let the pigs know it. They come here and hide. They're so uncomfortable. They're sitting on a tape recorder. They got their in their hair. They got to hide all this, and they come here and do all this weird action. All they got to do is come up to 2350 West Madison any day of the week, and anybody up there will let them know. Let them know, yes, we subversive. Yes, we subversive with the we are confronted with today, just as subversive as anybody can be subversive. And we think that is the criminals. They the ones always hiding. We the ones up in front. We're the out and open. These motherfuckers should start wearing uniform. If you want to know if the Panthers are going underground, the is underground. You can't find them. People call us the pigs, but nobody knows where they at. They're out chasing us. They hiding. They can't. Nobody even see them. But when people got a problem, they come to the Black Panther Party for help, and that's good. Because like Mao says, we are supposed to be ridden by the people, and Huey says we are going to be ridden down the path of social revolution, and that's for the people. The people ought to know that the Black Panther Party is 1,000% for the people. They write a lot of articles. You know, they'll run up to you in a minute. When I say, I mean white and black alike. Will run up to you and talk that shit about, man, I read in the Tribune today. Well, you say, man, f it right there. If you didn't read it in the Black Panther paper in the movement, then you ain't read it. Mickey White. We in the Black Panther Party have another brother I want to take some time to rap about. This brother is constantly on our mind. This brother's name is Michael White, Mickey White. The brother is beautiful. He's being held in jail now for $100,000 bail. Some of you who listen to the radio might have heard about brothers in the state chapter. Our Field Secretary of Defense, Captain Brother Nathaniel Jr., and Brother Merrill Harvey being laid up on some phony charge. We don't say the Panthers don't want, but we already got, and we don't have to go and try to steal or connive to buy any guns from anybody. What they're trying to do is squash out the Black Panther Party. What they're trying to squash out the leadership, trying to squash out Bobby Rush, the Deputy Minister of Defense, trying to squash out Shaka and Che, the Deputy Minister of Education. Mickey White was in that bullshit with Nathaniel Jr. and Merrill Harvey. Last week, when they went to court, even the judge in court said, "You're all going to get a fair trial, whether you deserve it or not." These are the types of actions we're confronted with. Mickey White is in solitary confinement and doesn't get to come out of his cell for anything at any time. And he might be in that cell for the rest of his life. His bond is $100,000. That's $10,000 cash. Mickey White is a proven revolutionary. He's not nobody we think is going to be a revolutionary. He's not nobody we're trying to make a revolutionary. He's a proven revolutionary. All of you have to understand that Mickey White is a panther in ideology. He's a panther in word, and he's a panther in deed. He's a panther that understands it's a class struggle, not a race question. You have to understand the pressures the Black Panther Party goes through saying this. You can see the pressure the Black Panther Party goes through by making coalition with whites. We're talking about building coalition, yes, but that does not excuse whites who want to be revolutionary, white people who want to be revolutionary. You have to address, you have to examine, you have to address, and you have to redress the racism you have been taught since birth to even make yourself worthy of coalition. Until you do that, you're propagating systems of oppression. When the Black Panther Party stood up and said, "We're not going to fight racism with racism," U.S. said, "No, we can't do that because it's a race question. And if you make it a class question, then the revolution might come sooner." We in U.S. ain't prepared for no revolution because we think that power grows from the sleeve of a dashiki. Basically, from being lit the fuck up and waving your pride flags around. They think queer liberation is going to come from me waving a non-binary pride flag in the background of my stream, or wearing a gender fluid pride skirt out in public, or and these are good things to do. Being visibly trans, being visibly accepting yourself as visibly trans, accepting yourself as visibly non-binary, as gender non-conforming and queer, living openly as a queer person is a revolutionary act. But that's theory. You got to couple that with you have to couple it with action. You queer liberation is class struggle. Anyway, we in the U.S. ain't prepared for no revolution because we think power grows from the sleeve of a dashiki that are armed with rhetoric and rhetoric alone. And we found that when you're armed with rhetoric and rhetoric alone, a lot of times you get yourself hurt. Eldridge Cleaver told them, even though you say you fight fire with fire best, we think you fight fire with water. You can do either one, but we choose to fight with water. He said, we're not going to fight racism with racism. We're going to fight racism with solidarity. Even though you think you ought to fight capitalism with black capitalism, we're going to fight capitalism with socialism. We're not going to achieve queer liberation through rainbow capitalism, because queer liberation is class struggle. It does not excuse cishet leftists from examining, addressing, and redressing their personally learned queer phobia, their personally learned transphobia. You have to analyze yourself. We got a whole lot of people being busted, and you don't even know about all these people. There's one here you definitely have to know about, and that's our Deputy Minister of Defense, Bobby Rush. Our Deputy Minister, Bobby Rush, was busted on some with a thing. He's got 3 charges. He's been convicted of one with a 6-month lead. He's out on appeal now. I know a lot of you say, well, you got a Mickey White defense fund, an Eldridge Cleaver defense fund, a Merrill Harvey defense fund, a Nathaniel Jr. defense fund, a Huey Newton defense fund, a Fred Hampton, Jewel Che Chaka defense fund, and I just can't keep up with all these defense funds. But since we are the vanguard party, we try to do things right. So we got one defense fund so you don't get mixed up on what name to send it to. We'll decide who it goes to. You can just send it to Political Defense Fund, 2350 West Madison. If you want to send something to Breakfast for Children, you can send it to 2350 West Madison also, and you can earmark that money to go to the Breakfast for Children program. We got Mickey on our mind tonight, and everybody knows we got Huey P. Newton on our mind tonight. We got every political prisoner in jail on our mind tonight. Eldridge Cleaver, all these people either dead or in exile or in jail or in an open air concentration camp prison. A lot of people understanding this will lose real faith in the vanguard, but by not understanding what we're talking about. A lot of these people will go up to you in a minute and say, why are all these people being taken? Why haven't they? Well, what do you say? What do we say? If you get a little satisfaction. But when you can kill them all, you get complete satisfaction. That's why we haven't moved. We have to organize the people. We have to educate the people. We have to arm the people. We have to teach them about revolutionary political power. And when they understand all of that, we won't be getting no few and getting no little satisfaction. We'll be killing them all and getting complete satisfaction. By which we talk about the industry of sorry, I got a notification about the vote for Palestine. The industry of predatory policing, of fascist policing. Abolish the police. Community enforcement of community guidelines. The focus on compassion and restorative justice. This is you got to keep the faith though. Like and I know it's hard. I have trouble with keeping faith in the revolution because I don't see a revolution. But it's probably because I don't know where to look. It's because of that previous paragraph. I'm not reading the right papers because I don't know what papers to read. And discoverability is a bitch in this world of such massive amounts of information available. The next section, go with the people. So what should we do if we're the vanguard? What is it right to do? Is it right for the leadership of that struggle to go faster than the followers of that struggle can go? No. We're not going to be dealing in commandism. We're not going to be dealing in no-tailism. We say that just as fast as the people can possibly go, that's just as fast as we can take it. While we take it, we must be sure that we are not missing the people in the valley. In the valley, we know that we can learn to understand the life of the people. We know that with all the out there, you can come to consider yourself on the mountaintop. I may even consider myself one day on the mountaintop. I may have already. But I know that in the valley, there are people like Benny, and there are people like me, people like Mickey White, and people like Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, and that below the valley are people like Bobby Hutton, people like Eldridge Cleaver. We know that going into the valley is a dangerous thing. We know that when you go out to the valley, you got to make a commitment. I don't know what he means by the valley. The valley is a metaphor, and I'm not good with metaphors. But I think what he's saying is the mountaintop is the people who understand revolution entirely. But I don't know. I consider I would if and the valley is the people who are following the struggle. Um, I don't know. I consider myself a follower of the struggle. That's why I'm engaging in literature reads and trying to understand theory better live on stream. Well, live on stream because I have to survive capitalism, which involves monetizing literally every aspect of my life. Um, but anyway, in any case, a lot of people think the revolution is, but it's not. A lot of us think that when you get in the revolution, you can talk your way out of things, but that's not true. Ask Bobby Hutton, ask Huey Newton, ask Eldridge Cleaver, Nikki White, Dennis Mora, all these people, whether it's a game, if you get yourself involved in a revolutionary struggle, then you've got to be serious. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to already have practiced some type of theory. That's the reason we ask people to follow the leadership of the Vanguard Party, because we all theorizing and we all practicing. We make mistakes, but we're always correcting them and we're always getting better. We used to run around yelling about Panther power, the Panthers run it. We admit we made mistakes. Our 10-point program is in the midst of being changed right now because we used the word white when we should have used the word capitalist. We are the first to admit our mistakes. We no longer say Panther power because we don't believe the Panthers should have all the power. We are not for the dictatorship of the Panthers. We are not for the dictatorship of black people. We are for the dictatorship of the people. Yes. And I like how he doesn't over valorize work. Because he's talking about the people, and that includes disabled people like myself who can't work conventional jobs. Like, I'm in a wheelchair. Do you know how few businesses have wheelchair accessible facilities, even though it's required by a law that went into effect in 1979? It's wild. And on top of that, it's easier to just say, "Oh, you didn't meet qualifications," than to admit we're not hiring you because you're in a wheelchair, and that's hard for us. The difference between the people and the vanguard is very important. You got to understand that the people follow the vanguard. I don't know who the vanguard is. I don't know that there is a vanguard these days. If there is, it's well hidden and hasn't been revealed to me because I guess I haven't proven myself revolutionary enough. But I don't know. I don't understand the social rules of revolution. The social rules of revolution will be lost on me because it was written by A-listic people. Um, uh, 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 but neurodivergent liberation is also class struggle. you know, it's still queer liberation is class struggle. Queer liberation is still queer liberation, but it is class struggle. It's always class struggle. Anyway, sorry, back to Hampton's paragraph. The difference between the people and the vanguard is very important. You got to understand that the people follow the vanguard. You got to understand that the Black Panther Party is the vanguard. If you are going to the people, you got to understand that the vanguard leads the people. After the social revolution, the vanguard party, through our educational programs, and that program is overwhelming, the people are educated to the point that they can run things themselves. This is what you call educating the people, organizing the people, arming the people, and bringing them revolutionary political power. This means people's power. This means people's revolution. If you're not about being involved in a people's revolution, then you got to do something. You got to support the people's revolution. Yes. I mean, I agree. You have to support the people's revolution. Find your personal vanguard and follow them. Learn theory and develop practice. Blackvig says, you have to be immersed in the struggle to be familiar with it. We each have our intersectionalities that are oppressed and where struggle is its own is taking place. Being queer, being disabled, being poor, but there's a greater scale than many of us understand. It's like what Kwame talks about with people thinking they're thinking. Yes, yes. We're going to read Kwame. It's on our to read list. It's not current and it's not next, but it's on the list. Uh, Thankfully, Kwame was a prolific speaker with excellent stage presence. You can load up lectures; they're legit fun. Oh yeah, okay. I mean, Kwame is definitely on the list of what we're gonna read and watch. We're gonna consume and engage with. Complete satisfaction. The Black Panther Party is the Vanguard Party. Who's the Vanguard Party now? You better get on the Black Panther Party. If you can't get on, you better get behind. If you can't get behind, you better get behind somebody else so you'll at least be able to follow indirectly, motherfucker. We ain't asking you to go out and ask no pig to leave us alone. We know that the pigs fuck with us because they know we're doing something. But a lot of dudes walk around and write articles about it. I know some revolutionary groups say these are running around saying these things. The PL was talking that couldn't even find things to criticize. They was so far in the ground. What was they doing? Organizing groundhogs, educating groundhogs, arming groundhogs, and teaching groundhogs revolutionary political power. I say that we're making the first group to come above ground where the people can follow and see you. And if you make a mistake, it's better than not even being at all. When I made that mistake, I made it for the people and I corrected for the people. You don't hear there was a raid on PL's office last night. You ain't never heard that. When you hear of PL busted in New York, PL's leader in jail with no bars, PL leader run out of the country, PL leader shot 18 times while he was running with his back turned and his hands up. PL leader gets breakfast for children for 1,800 people a week. You ever hear it? You never heard it. I want to hear it. If you do hear it, it'll be because of the Black Panther Party. I'm not putting all these things out and saying PL doesn't know them, but I'm saying that when people write something like this, a lot of people don't understand it, and I want to take the time to explain it. There are some things that PL says that are valid. Don't misunderstand me. We don't get mad because in some way or another, PL is trying to better the Black Panther Party by trying to criticize it. I just want to let you know, ain't nothing all right and ain't nothing all wrong. We're not all right, though we're trying to get that way. We make mistakes, but we understand that we're gonna make some more mistakes. And we're gonna try and correct these mistakes and we're gonna try and keep on moving. So what do we say? Do we let the pigs off us because we can stand them? We jail Mickey White. We should let him Bobby Hutton. We should let him run Eldridge Cleaver out of the country. Why? Because you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. You can run a freedom fighter around the country, but you can't run freedom fighting around the country. You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. Kill a few and get a little satisfaction. Kill some more and you get some more satisfaction. Kill them all and you get complete satisfaction. We say all power to the people. Black power to black people, and brown power to brown people, and red power to red people, and yellow power to yellow people. We say, I'm not saying I'm not saying that. The next line, and we say Panther power to the Vanguard Party, and we say don't kill a few and don't kill some more. As a matter of fact, we rather didn't move until you see we ready to move, and when you see we ready to move, you know we're not dealing with a few, we're not dealing with some more. You know when we get ready to move, we're dealing from complete. That's what we're after. Total, everything, everybody. Complete satisfaction. Power to the people.